Hey there guys, how's it going? I'm aarointheknee and I haven't touched Yu-Gi-Oh in a long time. There was a reason for that and I think I'm over it now. The reason was the old pendulum thing and blah blah blah, and I think I'm over that now. I'm over the initial fuck Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal now that I've really looked into it. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the new ban list that is coming into effect on the 14th of July, which is also the time when the new rules come in with pendulum monsters and the 5-card opening rule, which we're also going to cover. I'm fairly sure that's when they come into effect. If they don't, then please rate, comment, subscribe. So, going to look at all of the cards that have been limited, semi-limited, unlimited. I don't think anything got banned. I'm fairly sure nothing got banned. This is everything on here that I think there is. Actually quickly pop back to the ban list, and yeah, nothing got banned. So yeah, I'm going to look at all the cards that got touched and didn't touch, and the thing that was very strange about this list, especially considering there are a lot of really overpowered cards at the moment, this list is, I think, the shortest list ever in terms of things going on and off. We had 2 limited, 2 or 3 semi-limited, and 2 unlimited. That is, I think, a record. And it's a strange one, since we have more cards than ever, since we have more decks than ever, but we don't really have any deck that is, how do I say, completely the top tier at the moment. We have Gear, which did get nerfed really hard with the Gear limitation, but nothing really is up there. I mean, Hand Trap Tricks artifact deck didn't get touched at all. In fact, I think they got buffed very slightly, since one of their toughest matchups is Gear. So it's strange. It's a strange one, this ban list, because I feel there should have been a lot more. Maybe not bans, but limitations of certain cards. Like I think the one that searches the trap holes, that's Trap Tricks Memelo. I think that could have done with being limited, or trap holes in general, because being able to open turn 1 with Memelo and being able to set back row with the artifacts, you know, which if they MST, there's no good opening against. There's no good answer against that. But then again, Hand Artifacts Trap Tricks got I would say slightly nerfed by the fact that they want to open first turn, they want to start first, and they're only going to open 5 cards, and since they are card reliant, it's a bit of a nerf. It's an indirect nerf, and perhaps that's why they haven't touched a lot of the cards in it, because they feel that when they go first, which they're going to want to do, they're going to not get anything. Anyway, that's me talking about the game in general, which I actually think I should talk about a bit, because this ban list isn't just a ban list. This ban list is a changing of a lot of things, and I don't know too much about pendulum monsters right now. I know some of them are okay, and most of them are really terrible. And that happened with XYZ, that happened with Synchros. There were barely any good ones. I think we started off with Stardust and Thought Ruler Arcfiend as being the good ones, and a bunch of other shit ones, and then they all just came up. So for now, Pendulum doesn't really matter too much. So we're still kind of stuck in the other game. So I'm going to talk about the ban list first, and then we'll talk about the game in general, because I wouldn't mind actually talking about it, because a lot's going on. I think it's worth talking about. So Gear is the only thing touched that goes straight onto the ban list from not being banned. I'm not sure about this limitation. I'm really not, because Gear is this is the card that allows them to blow up. This is the card that allows them to drop everything. And without that, how do I say it? Without that power, is Gear that strong? I know that the amount of advantage they can get out of having the face down one, the Gyama, is a lot, and it's very hard to get over. I think they'll be okay. A lot of people are selling up their Gear stuff. I don't think they need to, especially since this card didn't get banned, which it very much could have, because it's very, very scary, this card. Gear is very very scary. At least now it's at 1. You don't have to worry about how many of the 3-star ones you put in. The the Mark II. So that's a good thing. This card, I think it could have went to 2. Then again, having it at 2 doesn't really stop the problem. But then again, it also stops them from opening the card. The fact that it's chainable is just dumb. I find it hilarious. But that's about that. They nerfed the deck. Also, Gear wants to go first, so with the new ruling changes with first turn, of course they got hit a little bit by that. So I think they'll still be around. They're a very, very cheap deck. It's what a lot of people play in real life just because of the cost of stuff. It's a good deck. It'll still be good. It has been hit a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna check out the Goyo Guardian. This guy, I was going to buy a lot of these for the last Banlist back in April, because I thought he could be coming back then. He didn't come back, and there were rumours, circulating that he'll be back, and he's finally back. Do I think it's a good idea for him to be back? I think it is. I personally don't think he ever should have won. Not that he's not super strong, but there are lots of super strong cards out there that are generic, that are easy to get out, and the 6-star Synchro has never really recovered from it. There was Brionic, who's very, very cool. I love Brionic. He got banned because, I think we could have kept Brionic if there weren't stupid loops with him. I wish they'd errated him, said once per turn, or just given him some other limitation. But yeah, the 6-star, there's always been a 6-star hole where there's never really been a, we need this 6-star. Goyo was the go-to guy, and then it was Brionic, and Brionic got banned, Goyo got banned, so I'm really happy Goyo back. I'm really, really happy. He's very strong. It's a huge buff to Light Swans. Light Swan's got a huge buff from this, because the 3-star Light Swan, which you want to run, the tuner one, you can go Lumina into Goyo, which is really, really strong. And speaking of Light Swan buffs, we also have Reinforcement the Army going back to 2. I'm so happy with this. When I saw Reinforcement the Army was at 1, it pissed me off back in the day. It never should have went to 1. I think 2's very, very good. The funniest thing about Reinforcement the Army going to 1 was people were like, but we gotta stop Stratus. We gotta stop Stratus because you can search Stratus with Reinforcement the Army, who's also banned now. And it was like, okay, Reinforcement the Army to 1. That stops Stratus because we don't have Emergency Call. Yeah, emergency call is like, okay, why are we stopping Reinforcement the Army? They could have took emergency call to 1, Reinforcement the Army to 2, and we wouldn't have stifled all of the other Warrior Toolbox decks that were hit by the Reinforcement the Army limitation. So I'm very happy to see Reinforcement the Army back to 2. This really helps Light Swans as well. Light Swans are getting a huge buff by this. The Reinforcement the Army to 2 and Goyo to 1. So that's always happy for me. I'm very happy with that. So we're going to look at Magician of Faith now. Magician of Faith, I remember the last time it was relevant was probably back in 2007 with the Apprentice Monarch builds. And Apprentice Magician is, I'm going to show you quickly. Apprentice Magician is this guy. So when this guy's destroyed by battle, the first bit doesn't matter. If he's destroyed by battle, you can special summon level 2 or low spark type monster in face down defense position. So this will be your wall first turn. You set this, people attack it, and you get Magician of Faith face down defense. Flip it, get yourself a spell back, and then you go into a mono. So that was the last time this guy was relevant. Magician of Faith was banned very, very soon after that. Maybe 1 or 2 ban lists after that. The Apprentice Monarch was around. And she never came back until last ban list or the ban list before, and because the game has evolved so much, she just hasn't had a place. So they're looking at it and going, well, this guy is kind of useless right now. Let's just put it back to 2. And the only place I really see Magician of Faith being a good card, well, there's 2 places. One is Spellbooks, but well, spellbooks because, well, obviously spellbooks like spells. But the problem with putting her in spellbooks is spellbooks like to use their normal summon once per turn, and Magician of Faith is a bit slow. So I'm not even sure she has a place there. She definitely really hasn't had a place in most of the decks that I've seen. So now she's at 2, maybe because you can do 2, it'll be okay. I'm not even sure if she's going to have a place in any decks. This is actually one of the things that bothers me about Yu-Gi-Oh! In the game, is the ban lists. People look at the ban lists and are like, well, this guy's at 1, does he need to be at 1? Even if it's a very irrelevant card. In fact, can you find limit 1? Let's have a look through all the cards that are limited to 1 and see if there's any that don't need to be there. DPC Diver, that guy does stuff. Maybe Exodia. You know, I mean, think about Exodia, right? If you had three of each Exodia, that's oh, I don't know, that's 15 cards. If you have 3 of each Exodia piece in your deck, you're a bit buggered because you just draw into those cards and it sucks. So maybe Exodia doesn't need to be at 1, but maybe it does just because, you know, maybe it's a thematical thing, Exodia being at 1. Yeah, and also sometimes killing the Exodia deck is killing the piece. So maybe that's the thing. Birdman. Genetic Salad Birdman I don't think needs to be at 1, and probably hasn't needed to be at 1 for a while. Let's see. Insect Dragonfly. I'm just going to have a quick look. Here's Spacey and Grand Mole. This guy never played by anyone, and he's very, very good. He's very good. You can never really use more than 1 of this guy. I mean, people don't even use 1. Why would they use 3? So why not unlimited? Maybe someone can make a good deck out of it. Night Seal, I know he's got the effect that you can keep looping it, but no one really runs cards that cost a card, and there aren't really that many that are that good around. So it's like, whatever. I like Night Seal. Maybe you should be at 2. What else? And that's everything that's at 1. I'm actually going to check what's at 2. Because I'm so sure there are ones that just need sorting. Necroface. I personally don't think Necroface needs to be at 2. I know there's the combo where you can drop 15 cards from a person's deck, but hey, Necroface at 2 is like, you can drop 10 cards. And, you know, they killed the Necroface deck by doing that, and there's nothing wrong with having a Necroface deck. It's, you know, you can side against it, you can deal with it. It just bothers me a little bit, and that's my little rant on things that are limited and don't need to be there. Oh, actually, let's have a look at the banned ones, because I think there's some in the banned cards that need to just come off. Oh yeah, of course Demock needs to. Just bear with me a second, guys, because I actually really want to talk about this. Rescue Cat. You know what? Sinister Serpent is the one I'm going to talk about, because Sinister Serpent should come off. I mean, I back in the day, card advantage was so huge. You needed cards. You needed cards in your hand and stuff like that. And you could abuse it a little bit with Lightning Vortex and stuff that makes you discard. Graceful Charity was one of the cards. It was like Sinister Serpent. Hey, I only have to drop 1 card. So, yeah, Sinister Serpent, during Stamper phase, you can get it back to your hand. Now, these days, firstly, one of the things was Sinister Serpent was Yatta's Yatta's kryptonite. Yatta Grass's kryptonite. Is kryptonite. Yatta needed to attack to lock you down. Where the fuck is Yatta? There's Yatta. Needs to attack to lock you down. So if you had Sinister Serpent in your grave, you pop it back to your hand, you set it, Yatta can't get over it. So they've got to let you go for a turn. There's a lot of things where Sinister Serpent was so good back then, really good, staple in pretty much every deck. Now it's slowly, it's like Magician of Faith. It's slowly just probably wouldn't be in it every day. You know, I mean, maybe in some decks where you wanted to play Lightning Vortex or a Geki Break. So maybe Sinister Serpent would make those decks a bit better, but it's just not that amazing. And you can look at Thousand Eyes Restrict. I know you can get this guy out. I mean, you can put this guy to 1. I know you can get him out with, oh, it's a card, Instant Fusion, and you could suck up one of your opponent's monsters, and then it'd die. That's kind of cool. But with, oh, what's that card called? It's banned. It's Metamorphosis, I think. Metamorphosis not banned? Huh. How odd. Oh wait, that's monsters. Okay. One second. Where's Metamorphosis? Where are you, Meta? Just for you guys. Just for you guys. Metamorphosis. Basically, take your 1-star monster, you tribute it with Metamorphosis, you bring out Thousand Eyes Restrict. That's the combo. With Metamorphosis banned, you know, I mean, the deck back in the day was Metamorphosis, Thousand Eyes Restrict, and Scapegoats, and maybe 3 Royal Decree. And you'd lock people down with this guy, suck up their monsters, eat them, they can't attack you, it's great. Thousand Eyes Restrict now is kind of useless because Metamorphosis is gone, and stuff like that. I mean, look at Self-Destruct button, this guy doesn't need to be banned, it's just a card that's a bit annoying, really. I personally don't think it needs to be banned. Time Seal, this guy. Skip the draw phase of your opponent's turn. This guy was banned because, actually, no, Tsukiyomi is still around. I forgot she came off the ban list. Now this guy needs to be banned still. Time Seal was skip the draw phase of your opponent's next turn. This was at 3 at one point and stayed at 3 until people started doing loops and locking stuff down. Does Shoot needs to be banned? Trap Infected Virus needs to be banned. Is there anything else that I can think of that needs... You know, this is one. Pot of Greed. I personally think this card should be unbanned. This card has... I mean, back in the day, this was banned probably 2007, 2006. I think it was maybe even a bit before that, Pot of Greed was banned. Just because it was so strong. Because card advantage was so much. If you had a card that was a -1 that you'd lose cards off, you would never play that. You only play things that give you +1s. Nowadays, Pot of Greed is... I mean, I know you'd play it every day. I know you'd play it every day. It's just 100% need to play it every day. That's fine. I mean, there are a lot of cards like that, like Solemn Warning. You pretty much play that in every day. Just because you play it in every day doesn't mean it's too strong. Pot of Greed does not break games. Pot of Greed does not win games. So, does that mean that it should be banned? I personally don't believe Pot of Greed should still be banned. Anyway, we're getting off track a little bit. So, we're going to look at Dimensional Prison and Mirror Force. The cards... Oh, wait, no, we got one more. It's Formula Synchron. This guy, I personally thought never should have went to 1. I know the deck with all the 1-star tokens with Dandelion and the Fishborg and stuff like that sucked to play against. I know that when they drew loads of cards, it sucked. But putting this guy to 1 had a very unexpected problem, which was he is the only 2-star tuner synchro monster that anyone uses. And he is used to make Quasar, and he's also made to use to make the big TG guy. So when they put him to 1, if you could drop that Synchron, they can't do anything about it. They can't make it. So it's one that never should have went to 1. It should have went to 2. Because then you can't just make the deck around and keep drawing cards and doing dumb stuff when you know, like when you've got 3. But it doesn't kill the Quasar deck, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So we're going to have a look at the last one to go to 3, which was Mirror Force and Dimensional Prison. These cards, I'm not quite sure. I mean, Dimensional Prison never should have really been at 2, because Dim Prison is it's an anti-meta card that's used in meta decks. It's a very strange one because it's sort of like a side deck card that you can main deck, and probably would do much better in main decks than sides. However, Mirror Force has a huge impact on games. So both of these going to 3 changes how you can play a back row heavy deck. Problem is with those back row heavy decks these days is we're going to go to 5 cards to start the first turn, and those back row heavy decks always want to go first because they need to set up. So these guys going at 3, while being a buff to those decks still got a significant nerf, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to deal with it. I'm not sure. Well, this video has been quite a nice little talk about what should be gone and what shouldn't be gone, and etc, etc. Also, Sangan shouldn't be banned. Fuck that. I love Sangan. Where is Sangan? There he is. Sangan shouldn't be banned. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Love me some Sangan. Also, Morphing Jar number 2 shouldn't be banned. It's annoying and stuff. It's got some combos, but whatever. It shouldn't be banned. Maybe at 1. At 1 it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, God, when your opponent attacks into Morphing Jar 2 and kills it, it's gone. I guess you could use the Shallow Grave to get it back, but bleh. So yeah, we're going to leave this here. Hopefully you've enjoyed my my thoughts on the brand new ban list. And yeah, I'll be doing some more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I'm pretty happy with where the game's going now, so I'm happy to be playing it again. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe.